All right, so get this. We're diving into AI medics on the battlefield.
Yeah, you heard that right.
AI making life or death decisions.
That's what DARPA's cooking up with this in-the-moment program, or ITM for short.
ITM, okay.
We've got articles, research, even press releases like from Raytheon, who's actually involved. So
Sounds intense.
it is. Think about it. Out there on the battlefield,
Yeah.
things go south fast. And who's making the medical call? Might not even be a medic.
Oh, right. I read that untrained soldiers sometimes have to, do triage or even try trauma medicine.
Exactly. Those crucial first minutes.
Their seconds count, right?
DARPA wants to give them AI support, literally saving lives, potentially.
Okay, so how do you teach a machine judgment calls, when even doctors disagree?
That is the question. It's what makes ITM so fascinating. They're not just programming rules. It's about replicating how human experts think under pressure.
Whoa, thinking like a battlefield medic, not just a textbook.
You got it. How do medics assess risk, adapt, all those factors?
In the heat of the moment,
Yeah.
they're reverse engineering the brain and putting it into code.
It's annals complex. One thing they're looking at is risk tolerance. Two medics, same situation.
Okay.
One might be more gung-ho, risky to save a life, even if things could get worse. Another, more cautious.
So the AI would have a, personality, a risk appetite.
Crazy, right? And that's just one piece. They want AI that learns from experience, too, like a human would.
The more it sees, the better it gets, building intuition.
Exactly. And sometimes there is no right answer, especially in chaos. The key is, can the AI explain why? So the soldier using it understands.
Trust the AI to trust its call, yeah. But how do you even test this? No robot medics on a real battlefield.
Well, simulations and real-world experiments, too. Virtual battlefields, the AI gets put through its paces.
Makes sense.
And they've got actual experts, soldiers, medics, working in the sims, giving feedback, helping refine it.
Constant testing and tweaking, like training, but virtual.
Exactly. The goal is soldiers trust it as much as they trust a human medic.
High bar, but the potential, not just battlefield medicine, emergency rooms, ambulances, anywhere seconds matter.
Mind-boggling, the applications. But before we go too far, got to talk about the challenges and limitations.
Yeah, we've been talking how, not really why DARPA chose this. What were they trying to fill? What other options were there?
Great point. Let's dig into that. A key reason is traditional medic training can't keep up with modern warfare.
Things change too fast.
Right. Conflicts are often remote, limited access, communication down, injuries are worse, more complex.
And even seasoned medics might not have the knowledge.
They need an AI to bridge the gap. Expert guidance when training falls short.
Not just info, but critical thinking.
Exactly. Making judgments on incomplete info, that's the goal.
Wow, recognizing the limits and augmenting humans, not replacing.
Like an AI guardian angel making the best call on the pressure cooker.
Okay, but I'm starting to wonder about the downsides. Is this much power to a machine a good idea, even one as amazing as ITM?
It's a huge question, and one DARPA is taking seriously. A big part of ITMIS, making sure the AI is trustworthy and transparent.
So not just building the tool, but thinking about the ethics, using it responsibly.
Exactly. How to make the AI's reasoning clear, prevent bias, make sure humans are still in control.
Good to hear. But how do they actually do that? Build trust into code?
Now that's where things get interesting. One way is explainable AI, where the AI can explain why it's recommending something, not just what to do.
Like saying, do this because.
Yes. That transparency builds trust. If you understand why, you're more likely to be okay with it.
Makes sense. And would be huge for other applications too, like in healthcare, where patients need to understand how an AI is deciding their treatment.
You're getting it. And that's just one way DARPA's work could go way beyond the battlefield. We're just getting started, but it's clear we're in a new era where AI is going to play a huge role, even in life or death situations.
This has been amazing already. Battlefield medics, AI chess players, but we're not done. Next time, we'll go even deeper into how ITM works.
And we'll tackle the ethical and societal stuff too. Using AI to make life or death decisions. Buckle up.
Welcome back. We were just talking about AI that can explain itself, right? Explainable AI.
Yeah, exactly. It's not enough for the AI to just, spit out an answer.
Right, like do this, do that.
It needs to be able to sort of show its work.
So we can understand why it's making the call.
Exactly, especially in a crazy situation like a battlefield. A soldier needs to be able to trust that the AI knows what it's doing.
So how does that actually work? Can you give us an example with ITM?
Sure. Imagine a soldier is using ITM to triage casualties after an attack, right?
Yeah.
The AI, it takes in all this information.
Severity of the injuries, I guess.
Yeah, and like available resources, tactical situation even. And then instead of just saying treat this soldier first, it can actually say this soldier has the highest chance of survival with immediate intervention, given their injuries and our current resources.
Wow.
It's almost like having the AI walk you through its logic.
Yeah, so you're not just blindly following orders
Right. It feels more like a collaboration.
between human and machine.
Yeah, exactly. And that builds trust. Right.
Huge, especially when we're talking about life or death.
And it's not just about trust. It's about making sure the AI is making decisions that align with, like, our values, ethical principles.
You keep mentioning ethics, and it makes me think when you're talking AI making these kinds of decisions, there have to be concerns. What are some of the big ones for DARPA with ITM?
Well, one of the biggest is bias.
Bias, how so?
AI systems can they can reflect the biases that are in the data they learn from.
Okay, so like if the training data is messed up, the AI could be messed up.
Yeah. For instance, if the data mostly comes from younger, healthier soldiers, the AI might not be as good at, say, assessing older soldiers or soldiers with pre-existing conditions.
Makes sense.
That's why DARPA is really focused on making sure the data they use to train ITM is as diverse as possible.
Sounds like they're trying to be careful about it. What else? What other concerns?
Another big one is control. Like, even if the AI is, accurate and unbiased, who's actually responsible for the decisions? Is it the soldier using it? The people who programmed it? The military commanders who are deploying it?
Wow. That's a really tough one. Uncharted territory, right?
You got it. And it's a big reason why DARPA is not just involving computer scientists and engineers with ITM.
Oh, who else?
Ethicists, legal experts, even philosophers.
Wow.
Trying to think through all these complicated issues before the tech gets too far ahead of us.
Smart.
It's all about building trust, right? If soldiers don't trust it, they won't use it.
Yeah.
And if the public doesn't trust it, the whole thing could backfire.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It feels like this isn't just about a new tool. We're talking changing warfare.
Yeah.
Changing how humans and machines work together.
Exactly. It's forcing us to ask some big questions. What should we automate? What are the risks? These are questions for the future, not just of warfare, but of humanity.
Okay, so lots to think about there. But practically speaking, how far along is this tech really? Are we going to see AI medics on the battlefield soon?
Well, it's still early days for ITM, but they're making good progress.
Okay.
The algorithms, the testing and simulations, it's all moving fast.
But it's not ready to go live?
Not quite.
What are some of the roadblocks they're hitting?
One is just data. To teach the AI, they need TONS of data. Battlefield injuries, treatments, outcomes. And it can't just be any data.
Right. It has to be accurate and diverse, like you said.
Exactly. Gathering all that is a huge task.
And I imagine the technical challenges are pretty intense, too. Building an AI that thinks like a human medic in that kind of chaos.
For sure. They're pushing the boundaries of AI, machine learning, even cognitive science. But they're working with, trauma medics, military strategists.
Bringing in all the experts.
The potential impact is just too big.
Okay, so throwing everything they can at the problem.
And that's what makes it so cool to watch.
Yeah.
This isn't just, groundbreaking tech. It's how they're doing it.
Yeah.
The ethics, the collaboration.
It's a whole new model for how we develop AI, not just for warfare, for everything.
We're getting it.
This deep dive has been really eye-opening. We've gone from the details of ITM to like the big philosophical questions about AI and humanity, and it feels like we've only just scratched the surface.
That's true. We've only scratched the surface.
Yeah.
The world of AI is moving fast, and IPM is just one example of how it's going to change everything.
So next, we're going to zoom out a bit, look at ITM beyond the battlefield, what it tells us about the future of AI and what that future means for all of us.
Get ready. It's going to be a wild ride.
So we've really gone deep on this In the Moment program. It's kind of crazy. Started with AI medics. Now we're talking about, like, what does it even mean to be human with all this AI coming up?
Right. It really makes you think. All this amazing potential, but then these big questions about, can we trust machines with this much power? The ethics of it all.
And it's not like someday. This is N now W. The choices we make about AI, they're going to shape the whole world, like right now.
No doubt. We're at a crossroads for sure. Do we use this for good, or is it going to be a whole new set of problems?
And right before the break, we were talking about how ITM could be used not just on the battlefield.
Oh, yeah. The potential goes way beyond that.
Like healthcare, I was reading about AI in emergency rooms,
helping doctors make faster diagnoses, maybe even recommend treatments. Think about it.
especially in places where, they don't have enough specialists.
Exactly. Rural areas, developing countries. Could be huge.
And disaster response, too, like an earthquake or a hurricane. Imagine an AI coordinating rescue
And
efforts.
real-time data from sensors, drones. The AI could figure out where to send help first. Lives saved for sure.
It's mind-blowing, but can we really trust machines to make those calls?
That's the big question, isn't it? As
Mhm.
a society, we got to figure that out. What are the risks, the benefits? What are the rules we need?
It's not like AI is just this thing that happens to us. We're building it. We get to decide how to use it.
Couldn't agree more. It's up to us to make sure AI is a force for good in the world.
And it seems like DARPA, with ITM, they're at least trying to do it right. Not just build powerful tech, but actually think about the ethics.
That's right. They're really focused on building trust and transparency into the system itself.
And all that collaboration, bringing in all these different experts.
Yeah, doctors, ethicists, lawyers.
Yeah.
It's not just a tech problem anymore. It's a human problem.
This whole deep dive, it's been a wild ride.
It has.
From the nuts and bolts of ITM to, these big philosophical questions, and honestly, we've just scratched the surface.
Totally agree. But hopefully, you listening out there, you've got a better sense of what's coming with AI, the challenges and the incredible possibilities.
Definitely check out the sources we talked about and keep the conversation going. This is way too important to leave to just, the experts.
Absolutely. This is a conversation for everyone.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We'll be back soon with another fascinating topic that's changing the world. Until then, keep learning, keep asking those tough questions, and never stop imagining what's possible.
Couldn't have said it better myself.